this video, I'm breaking down the 10 men's brands that continue to sell year after year. These are the kinds of items that have led me to making over $100,000 net profit as a part-time reseller and mama of four. Let's get into it. Now this first brand, do not laugh at me, but it's American Eagle. And I'll tell you why. It's because the men's items sell usually for substantially more than the women's items. And especially when you know the ones to look for. Some of the best items with this brand are their men's jeans, their shorts, and their jackets. Let me show you a few examples. This is a pair of men's jeans from American Eagle. These are next level flex, which is a very common thing that you'll see with their men's jeans. Now, sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference just by looking at the jeans, but this is going to be the dead giveaway that you're looking at a men's pair of jeans and not women's, is it will always be the waist by the length. And these are not any unusual size. They're a pretty standard size of jean. Nothing really too special about these jeans, but they sold for $26.95 plus shipping. And that is after a best offer was accepted. If you're wondering how to figure out how much items sold for on eBay after a best offer was accepted, I have a video I'll link to up here. Now this is a pair of men's cargo shorts from American Eagle, and these are an older pair, but you can see how they have some fraying around the cuffs, some fraying at the pockets, and these are heavyweight cargo pant. That's what the tag looks like. And this pair of shorts sold for $30 plus $7 of shipping. It's not uncommon for these to sell for right around that $25 to $30 mark. And their men's jackets and hoodies can also be some really good money, but of course it depends on the style. Now with this one, it is a leather jacket, and because of that, this one sold for a little bit more, but there's the tag first if you want to check that out. And that one sold after a best offer for $128. Wrangler. While everybody else is on the hunt for Levi's, Wranglers oftentimes gets overlooked, but these can make some quick flips. This is a denim pearl snap shirt from Wrangler, a pretty basic tag with this one. It is a little bit bigger of a size, which I do find those sell better, and they usually sell for a little bit more money. So if you do happen to come across a bigger size, you're usually in luck. This one is an extra large, and it sold after a best offer for 25 bucks. This is a pair of just basic jeans. These are Wrangler Retros, and these are a slim boot cut. There's what the back of these looks like. Again, nothing special going on with these jeans, but they went for 29 bucks plus shipping. And if you'll get really lucky, you might come across one of these. This is what's called a Wrangler brush popper shirt, and they're usually striped or have some sort of design that's pretty noticeable. There is what the tag looks like with this one. There's the back of that shirt. This one went for $200 plus shipping, and this one went for $200 plus shipping. Now they're not all selling for quite that much, but they can make an easy $100 to $150 flip. Duluth Trading is another favorite men's brand of mine to come across because this brand has a really good following and these items sell quickly. My favorite items are almost anything, but especially their pants, jeans, and jackets. This is a pair of just basic jeans from Duluth Trading. There's the label at the back as well as at the inside. And these went full price, 30 bucks plus shipping. And this is a knit sweater from Duluth Trading with the shawl neck. There's the tag there. It is a bigger size. Again, those bigger sizes do sell well in pretty much every brand. And this went after a best offer for 40 bucks plus shipping. And one of my favorite items to come across from this brand, their Flex Fire Hose pants. This is what these pants look like. They're usually a duck canvas and they will say Flex Fire Hose. They do have quite a bit of stretch. If you come across these are not just basic canvas. I'm not sure if that's why they're called Flex Fire Hose or where exactly that name came from. But these make a quick $30 to $40 flip, and this pair went full price for $40 plus shipping. One of my all-time favorite men's brands, and that's Carhartt. There's lots of opportunity here, including jeans, jackets, overalls, and vests. And I've seen near fights break out over these items, but I'll show you some that nobody is fighting for that are even more profitable. While other people are fighting over the Carhartt in good condition, you can be snatching up jeans like these that have holes, even some patches there around the pocket. Check out those holes. Those are worn all the way through to that double knee, fraying around the ankles, even holes there in the crotch. Even so, these sold for 44 bucks plus shipping. And this jacket, tons of holes, also tons of sun fading with this one. I'm going to zoom in so you can see just how bad those are around the waist as well as at the sleeve cuffs. Just check that out. Even with that kind of wear and that discoloration and those holes, sold for 46 bucks. These are the kinds of things that most resellers just walk right by and think it's not worth anything. And another pair of really beat up denim jeans, holes, lots and lots of stains, holes at the top of both of those double knees, even some paint on these. There's what the back looks like, starting to separate at that seam in the crotch. And those went for 70 bucks plus shipping. And Ralph Lauren, another really solid hitter, even when it comes to their more basic items. Even a basic button-up shirt like this one, this does happen to be flannel, but these button-up shirts can be some good money, especially if they're long sleeve. The long sleeve tend to sell for just a little bit more. This is an extra large, and it went for 25 plus shipping, but these make an easy $20 to $25 flip. And a pair of pretty basic men's chino shorts, even a couple little marks. It's hard not to have marks on light colors like these. There's the tag, but even with those marks, these went for 25 bucks plus shipping. Now it's going to be a little bit more rare to come across more unique items from this brand, but if you do, these can be some big money into the hundreds and sometimes even thousands. This is a color block quarter zip pullover in primary colors. It says Polo Rafting Club. There's the Polo Ralph Lauren tag, and this went full price about 149 bucks. So I mentioned items selling for into the thousands, and those are from the double RL line. This is a pair of suede pants with lace-up details at the ankles. Those are so cool. And these went full price, $1,711 and free shipping. Real quick, if you're getting frustrated with seeing your items just sit, or you're not making as much money as you know that you should be, and you're ready to see that turnaround this week, that's exactly why I created the Empowered Reseller. Inside, I show you how to get your items found and turn what you already have into faster sales and higher profits. So instead of guessing, you're turning what you already have into real money, and you're making more money on every item moving forward. Plus, you get support, real help when you need it, and you're not stuck trying to figure it all out on your own. And every month you get a deep dive into a proven clothing niche, so you're never passing by profitable items again. If that sounds like something you'd like, click the link below or head to empoweredreseller.com to see what we're diving into right now and to join us. The next brand is Eddie Bauer, and much like American Eagle that we started with, their men's items usually sell for substantially more than their women's items. This is an older nylon style jacket with fleece lining. There's what the tag looks like, the fleece on the inside. And this went full price for 40 bucks. And their newer items, especially if they're technical wear, can hold their resale value really well. This is a down jacket, and with this one, it does have some wear on the inside of the fleece. I'm gonna get a better picture of that there for you. You can see it's kind of pilled up, worn. It's got some lint in it. There's the Eddie Bauer label, and most of their items, by the way, do clarify if they're for men or women, which is super helpful because it can be hard to tell. But this down jacket, even with the wear on that fleece and that lint, sold full asking price, $110 plus shipping. But don't overlook some of their more basic items. This is a men's Henley shirt in waffle knit. There's the label at the back of the neck, and this one went for $25 plus shipping. Orvis is another really solid and just classic and timeless brand that men are after. This is a basic button-up shirt in short sleeve. There's the Orvis tag. And this one went for $25 free shipping. Pretty basic item. And this is a long sleeve button-up. This one does happen to be 100% linen. So with these brands and with Orvis, keep your eye out for those more natural premium fibers that buyers pay up for. This one went full asking price for $30 plus shipping. And if you come across vintage items with this brand, do your research, but there's a really good chance that those are valuable. This is a men's jacket made from Harris tweed. So you'll see the Harris tweed label there. And then over on the left, the Orvis label. There's the back of that jacket. And this one went for the full asking price of $120 plus shipping. L.L.Bean is another really just classic and timeless brand that continues to sell well for their men's items year after year. This one's just a flannel button-up shirt. There's the L.L.Bean tag. It is a large tall, so keep your eye out for those because L.L.Bean is known for having those tall sizes, which there's actually a good market for. And this one went for $25 plus shipping. And again, with their older vintage items, they can be some big money. This is a down-filled jacket with a corduroy collar. There's the label there, and there's where it says down. The labels are pretty worn off just based off of the age, which is super common when you're looking at older items. But this jacket sold for $187 plus shipping after a best offer. And this is a pair of pretty basic looking men's jeans. They're black, but they are flannel lined. So if you pick up a pair of jeans and they seem to be a little bit heavier weight, check out the inside. And if they are, people pay up for those from L.L.Bean as well as from other brands. This pair from L.L.Bean sold for $35 after a best offer. And while we're on the topic of heritage brands, this next brand is Woolrich. And I absolutely love to come across these because they do make a lot of really unique items that tend to sell for a little bit more money. This is an older flannel button-up shirt in sort of a southwestern design. There's the Woolrich label. It is a 2XL, and this went full asking price $38 plus shipping. And this is a basic shirt jacket. This is a newer item. It is fleece lined, and there's the Woolrich label. This one went full asking price for $56 free shipping. Like I mentioned, they have some really unique items. This is one of their older vintage tags with that sheep. Super fun jacket. It does have some wear on that trim, but it went full price, almost $100 plus shipping. This brand is another men's favorite of mine that I love to come across, and this is Tommy Bahama. And with this one, you want to be careful and go for certain types of items. There's definitely ones that don't sell for a whole lot of anything, but on the flip side, there's items that sell for quite a bit more. And with these, you're usually looking for 100% silk, older designs, destination designs, as well as Disney or anything that's a little bit more interesting or unusual. This is a camp style button-up short sleeve shirt, and with this one the design is fairly basic, but it is 100% silk. It is an older item, and this one went for $50 free shipping. Now this is one that does have a little bit more of an unusual design. You can see the design there on the back of the shirt where it's got the American flag and it says Sips and Stripes Forever. The front of the shirt doesn't have so much going on, just a little embroidery at one of those pockets and just a very subtle design to that shirt. There's the label at the back of the neck. This is also 100% silk, and it went for $90 free shipping. And those Disney shirts that I mentioned, especially if they're from Disney parks, this one happens to be the Jungle Cruise theme. There's the label, so you'll see where it says Disney Parks Collection by Tommy Bahama. And this particular shirt went for $150 plus shipping after an offer, but it's not uncommon for these style of Disney shirts to sell for right around the $100 to $150 mark. Next one, these brands are gonna go a long ways in building consistent, reliable profit when it comes to reselling. Now, if you'd like to know the keywords that'll get your items found and sold even faster and for more money when it comes to men's items, then stick around for this next video because I'm going to be showing you the exact keywords to use when it comes to men's clothes. Just click or tap the screen and I'll see you there.